Hey guys, Brian from Boas here. I was just doing my normal routine maintenance and I discovered my second litter for 2020 has been born. It's actually my Honduran fire belly boa, and this animal was actually due in about 2 weeks. And so 2 years ago this same animal delivered 3 weeks before her due date as predicted by the post-ovulation shed plus 105 days. And unfortunately that litter, there were 13 babies, but only 2 of them were alive. The rest were stillborn. So I'm a little anxious. I saw some babies and they're moving around, but not sure what's going on. So I'm going to go check it out, and hopefully at least most of these babies will be okay. A really strange coincidence. One of the viewers actually emailed me or messaged me earlier today, asked me what the minimum amount of time between the post-ovulation shed and birth date would be okay, and I told them I didn't know, but anything more than like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks before, you're probably going to get into issues. So we'll have to see. These animals, this is actually 90 days pretty much to the date after the post-ovulation shed. We'll have to see how the babies look, and hopefully most or all of them are okay. This female can be a little nippy, and usually after they give birth they defend their baby, so I'm just gonna have to approach her pretty slowly. Let's see. Hopefully she doesn't come striking at me. Got my snake stick and snake bag. Looks like we have babies there. I can see quite a bit of yolk material, which is often, if they're born a little early, sometimes they have the yolk. Let's see, I see a slug. I'm just gonna turn the camera off and take the mother out. So I got the mother out, and she's now soaking in water. Take the scent off of her. She was a bit of a struggle. She did not want to leave her babies. So I see a slug right here. Another piece of a slug. I see some babies back there. Looks like most of the babies appear to be moving. I think one of them might be a little bit in rough shape. We'll have to see. You can see some of them have this yolk attached. So what I'm going to do is carefully remove the babies, and you don't ever want to disturb the yolk. You want to put them into a separate container with moist paper towels and let them absorb as much of that yolk as they can. So like, for example, this one isn't really moving very much. Well, it's moving a little bit, but looks like the rest seem to be okay. They're moving around. So what I'm going to do is get these guys out of here, get them into a separate container, a separate tub with some moist paper towels, and then see how they're doing. It looks like there's 8 babies and 2 slugs, but I don't see any stillborns, at least not yet. So fingers crossed that these guys all make it. I went ahead and moved them all to this separate tub with fresh moist paper towels, and on a positive note, they all are alive. So it looks like there's 9 babies. They're all moving at least a little bit. A couple of them look a little bit, I don't know if a couple of them are going to make it. They're just, not looking too well, and they have a lot of yolk. But the rest look pretty healthy, and one actually even struck at me, which is always a good sign. And actually, when I had the litter 2 years ago that was 3 weeks premature, most of them, other than the 2 that made it, they weren't moving at all. They were just completely stillborn. But these guys seem to be in, fairly good shape, moving around. You can see all that yolk. So I'm just going to leave them with the yolk and allow them to absorb as much of it as possible, give them the best chance to pull through. Put them on a warm, roughly 90-degree heat mat. And we'll probably change these paper towels in a few hours. When the yolk, you have a lot of yolk in afterbirth, it really starts to stink pretty fast, so you gotta clean the paper towels pretty often. But yeah, so we'll just have to see how these guys do. It's always good when they go full term, but these guys don't look too bad. And they were about 2 weeks before the due date that was predicted by the post-ovulation shed. Alright, so we'll just give these guys some time to rest. I went ahead and I did a thorough cleaning of her enclosure, put in some fresh substrate, made sure to get rid of all of the baby boa smell because that just kind of makes them defensive. You know, baby boas, the goo in the litter definitely has a smell. Wish we had smell-o-vision. But you know, if you have your baby boas that are born, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Definitely a very distinctive smell. So she's soaking right now. I'm just going to go dry her off and do a quick examination, make sure she's doing okay. And there she is. I took her out of the water, gave her a dry off, you know, did a quick exam. Just want to make sure that she doesn't have any retained eggs or slugs or anything like that. And she actually looks like quite deflated. You know, after the females give birth, they almost look like deflated balloons when you pick them up, and they're definitely much lighter. You know, they've expended a lot of weight and energy into producing those babies. So you can see she's a little hissy, but you know, not too bad. So we'll just let her rest. I'll go ahead and I'll feed her tomorrow. She's probably really hungry. But she did great. This is actually her third litter, so she's a real experienced mother at this point. And hopefully more litters to come in the future. But just, you know, great job for this boa today. It's been a few hours. I just came to check on the babies. You know, some of them look kind of a little kinked. I don't think their backbone is kinked. Like their spine, you know, like a typical kink. I think they're just kind of, I don't know, I'm a little worried about these guys. Maybe they were born a little too early. You know, there's a few of them over in the corner here that look pretty much normal. So they, you know, I think they'll make it. Little guy over here keeps striking out at me, so I think he's going to be fine. But there's, I don't know, there's one right here. You can see he's kind of not really moving very much. You can see the yolk attached to him. Have to see what happens with him. So, you know, I'm concerned about a couple of these. There's a little guy that keeps striking. But we'll have to see, you know. Hopefully they'll pull through. So I'll probably check on them again later tonight, change the paper towels, and then see how they look tomorrow morning. So we'll see how these babies do, and you know, hopefully all of them will pull through. But I'll keep you guys posted in upcoming videos. This female, perhaps she just delivers a little bit earlier than other boas. I've seen quite a range. They say 105 days after the post-ovulation shed. Most of my true red tails is more like 120 days roughly. And I've seen the boa imperator tend to give birth a little earlier, some of them around 100 days. So maybe this wasn't as premature, you know, as we might think. So we'll just have to see. Overall, I think this is a better outcome than what I experienced 2 years ago, where 11 of the 13 babies were stillborn, and that was, you know, real heartbreaker. So hopefully we'll get these babies through, and they'll all grow up to be nice, happy, healthy under and fire belly boas. As always, if you have any questions, shoot me a line. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please stay tuned for future videos if you want updates on these and other litters. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your boas.